What up, nerds? Let's talk about it. This was requested by a sub. They wanted me to expound on the young man that was mauled by a police dog. Horrific. Question is, was it justified? Do we justify do we look at this and go, yeah, I can see that guy getting his arm ripped up by a full grown canine, German Shepherd to be exact, and held down by other police officers. So here's what happened to this young man. I don't know what his name is. He is a truck driver. And what was happening is the man had so state police, they stop truck drivers all the time because they want to give them tickets because that's how they make money. So the state police, they love to harass truck drivers. They really love it because it's big tickets. Why? Because the company will pay for it. That's why they love truck drivers. They're like, your company makes a lot of money. Boom, I'm gonna give you this, $400 or $500 ticket. Why? Because it goes to their little rinky-dink department in the middle of nowhere. And that's how they make money. That and illegal forfeitures and writing you bogus tickets. So what they did was they saw his truck and they said there's something wrong with his mud flap. So we're going to pull him over because he has a, misshapen mud flap or whatever it was. Mind you, this guy's a truck driver. They are in the zone. Sometimes they get headphones on and they're eastbound and down. All they're thinking about is, getting that load to wherever it needs to go so they can make that money. Truck drivers make some decent money, but they gotta be on time. There's a lot of rules and regulations that goes in with it. But if you follow all of them, boom, you get your money, right? So this young man's just, he's in a frame of mind of hustling. Then all of a sudden, he looks behind him in the rear view. He's still rolling. He has no idea they're back there until he sees them in the rear view. He doesn't hear them. He sees them. Now, this tells me something. That means you've been rolling for a minute. So you either had your music blasted, you're talking to somebody on the phone because you didn't even know that they were back there. And when he looked back there, he found different state police departments. There were several cars behind them, lights going on, trying to stop this dude. He saw this. He was like, there's no way I'm stopping. What did he do? He called the emergency line. He called the police on the police. He said, listen, there are a bunch of cops behind me. I don't know what I did, but I am not stopping until I get to, a safe area. I don't know what's going on, but I'm afraid that they're going to kill me. This is what he said. So he didn't want to stop. So what did the staties do? The statey said, there is a jurisdiction line here. We are in city limits. I think the city was Chillicothe or something like that. So what happens once you enter in city limits? The city cops are called. City cops and state cops are two different animals. City cops are used to dealing with a lot more riffraff, and they are high strung, very, very high strung. All they think is take this person down, get this person in the back of the car, case closed. Stadies, not so much. City cops run in packs. Stadies, usually by themselves. Whenever you see an incident with state police, on the highway, that person's by himself. Whenever you see an incident with city cops, it's usually two of them. They run in packs of two. And there's usually four squad cars to like a couple city blocks. So they cover a decent area and there's a lot of them. Why? So they can respond quicker. Well, they responded to the state's call. The states was like, hey, this guy is entering in your jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah. We need your help stopping him. Mind you, this is still for a mud flap, which means the operator doesn't know what he did wrong. He's completely confused. Once they pull him over, they get him out the car. The city cop shows up, and the state cops are saying, listen, come to me. But the city cops are saying, down on the ground, which is the command that you usually hear now. Get down on the ground. If you don't get down on the ground, you're going to get bit. But the state cops are going, come to me. You don't want to get bit. So he's hearing two different commands. He doesn't know what to do, so he stands there with his hands up, which means I surrender. Now, this is what should have happened. There are about 4 or 5 state cops there, and one cop is saying, don't let him release the dog on him. There's a city cop with his partner and a dog. Here's what should have happened. Because the city cop took that thing over. And that's what happens when you call a city cop. There's not really a lot of rhyme or reason once their blood is up. What should have happened is a state cop, any one of them, that female, those 4 guys, any one of them could have said, you know what? Hold your dog. Listen, come over here. Come over here. And, or they should have said, hold that dog. Stay right there. And walked over to him. You had 5 cops. They could have drew arms, guns down, and told him, I'm coming to you. And walked over to him. Guy would have had his hands up on his knees and would have should have said, go ahead, lay down, boom, put him in handcuffs. It's over. But no, what they did. What's going on? What's going on, my mans? No, but here's what they did. They said, don't let the dog go. Don't let the dog bite him while his hands are in the air. You hear the cop repeating, saying it and saying and saying, and then his voice gets louder. The problem is the statey is not talking to the cop because he's not going, hey, don't let that dog go. He's just saying, oh my God, don't let the dog go. Don't let the dog go. Don't let the dog go because his hands are in the air. But state cops and city cops, they have different issues. They have different ways of handling a problem. The city cops are more aggressive. So even if your hands are in the air, if you're not down on the ground, which is the cop is telling you, get down on the ground. If you're still standing, that cop looks at you as a threat. So he could have had his hands on top of his head like this. As long as he's standing, that cop still thinks you're a threat. He's thinking you're not listening to my lawful commands. That's what the city cop is saying. And he says, you're going to get bit. Get down on the ground. But the statey is saying, come to me. We don't know the different laws that they're used and the different rules of engagement. All we see are police. This kid was scared. He called the emergency line. He called the police on the police. He already said that he was scared that he was going to die. So he stood there. Then he finally got on his knees and he's talking to the cop who has a dog. The cop comes over with the dog, lets the dog go. And the guy's on his knees. He's like, I don't know what to do. He's on his knees. The dog runs the other way. And the cop still sees him on his knees. He could have easily grabbed the dog. But he's like, here. Tell me what threat this guy was on his knees. He was no threat. He had no weapons. He did what you wanted him to. He was on his knees. Your dog ran the wrong way. He was still giving you a chance. Your dog just ran the wrong way. But you're like, bite him. Sick him. Your dog comes over, bites him. You grab the guy and pin him to the ground while he's getting his arm ripped apart by this canine. And then after it's all said and done, he's like, I told you were gonna get bit, as if this guy just saved the day. You know, he's gonna whip his wang out and piss all over this kid. It's like, okay, well, guess what? You got fired immediately. That cop got fired within milliseconds of that report. Not to mention, all the state police were against him. All of them. But here's the kick in the ass. The city department said he did nothing wrong. They tried to say, oh, this guy did nothing wrong, until the outcry came. Then they were like, nope, you're fired. Fired him. But they first tried to say he did nothing wrong. Now, mind you, this guy has a bloody arm that will never be the same for the rest of his life. It will never be the same. It will not. He'll have those scars for the rest of his life. Now, when you look on World Star Hip Hop, everybody is thinking the same thing. This kid just got paid. For one, you wouldn't have fired your police officer if you didn't think that, everything was on the up and up. No, that guy had every chance to hold that dog. Every chance. This guy didn't have not one weapon. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't yelling. He was standing perfectly still and his arms were in the air. Then he got on his knees and his arms were in the air. This guy he has no fight in him whatsoever. None. Even when the dog was running at him, he was like, what? Still on his knees, like, what am I supposed to do? He was completely scared. He was scared. And this is all over a mud flap. A mud flap that the guy didn't even know was doing whatever. He had no idea. This is because of a mud flap. They could have let that guy go on his damn business. That guy could have lost his life. And that's what we know so far. Now, is this guy going to sue? Yes. He's going to sue that officer, and he's going to sue the police department, the city. But you know who he's not going to sue? The state. There were different state jurisdictions coming. Well, not different state, but there were, different states. There were several cars behind him before he even knew it was going on. He's not going to turn around and sue, the state. He's not going to. No, he's going to sue the city. He's going to sue the city, and he's going to win big time. He's going to win. You can't sick your dog on people just because you have one. Anyway, so if you got any questions about that, feel free to ask me. Peace to both of you. I think two of you are here, even though it says one. We know the police. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Matt. You know what it looked like to me? It looked like business as usual. There is a video that I saw where this woman was talking to these two cops, was talking to one, but two cops, they were city cops. They had just arrested her friend, male. They put him in the back of the car. The other police car had a canine unit. So the cop she's talking to opens up the door to the canine unit and goes, and then directs him into the door because the door of the other unit was open. And he said, and the woman said, "That's effed up. That dog went in there and bit that man." Now, mind you, he's in handcuffs and he's in the back of a police car. That dog went in there and started biting him up. There was another story where a woman said that she said they let the dog bite him. So the dog killed him, for one. And they said he bit him so much that there was just flesh laying all over the place. He just tore the flesh off the man. It was a black man. And these cops watched their dog pretty much eat this man. They just let him tear the flesh off of this man. He tore him apart. And police officers did this. So this is business as usual. They love to put you in agony. Then they put you in the back of a car and they just let you writhe in pain and they get off on it. They really do. It makes their dick hard. That you're in pain. You can't do nothing about it. I'm in control. I don't have to take you to, I don't have to call an ambulance. I don't have to take you to the hospital. You can just sit back there in pain, screaming, and I don't have to do anything. They had one officer not too long ago, this year. What he did was he got a black man doing something. He put him in the back of a paddy wagon. There are no seatbelts in the back of the wagon. He sits him in the middle of the wagon. And he drives down the street. He picks up speed. He hits the brakes. The guy goes flying forward, breaks his neck immediately. Then the cop comes back and says, "Oh, what happened?" "I had to stop suddenly, because there was a car," which was a complete lie. Then they drag him out of the car once he gets to out of the van when he gets to the precinct, and they're telling him to stand up, stand up. He's like, "I can't stand up." That guy is now a quadriplegic. And all of those cops got sued because they tossed him around like he was nothing. And all he could do was sit there with his head down. Nerve damage from here down. This is how Johnny Gray died in Baltimore. There was something going on, and he looked at the cops, they looked at him, and he took off running. You know what his crime was? Nothing. He did absolutely nothing. When they got a hold of him, they threw him in the back of a van, and they severed his spine or something like that, and he died. He died from it. It's his business as usual. It's what happens when you call a city cop. If they want you to be in pain, you'll be in pain. I watched a city cop rip a dude out of the driver's seat. Crashed his car right outside of my house. I looked outside. Four cops pulled up. They ran over to the car, smashed the window, grabbed this little dude out of the seat so hard that his pants were still left in the car. Threw him down on the side of the road, pinned him down. He was laying there asshole naked. And they left him in the middle of the street, ass naked, while they sat around and talked about what they were going to do when they got off. They ripped him out of a window. They did not care. And I watched it right in front of me. Columbus, Ohio. There are more people shot and killed, black people shot and killed by Columbus, Ohio police than there is anywhere else. And I watched them do it. They didn't even open the door. They didn't say, get out the car. They ran over to the car, smashed the window, and snatched him through the glass. They didn't care about what injuries or nothing. That guy had no pants on when he was laying on the ground. And they left him there like a spectacle, just like Michael Brown when he got killed. They just let that guy sit there. And I'm like, there's a man who has no pants on in the middle of the goddamn street. And y'all just going to leave him there? Absolutely. They'll make an example out of you. So this is business as usual, Matt. This is what city cops do. We had a cop here named Batman. He was notorious for harassing you. But you know who he harassed? Drug dealers. Until one day the drug dealers caught up to him and they tied him up. Yeah. He literally was called Batman. He thought he was that deal. Till people had enough and they got a hold of him. Hell, we had an OSU student. Well, they let him go. But shortly after that, he was, done with the precinct. He quit. Yeah. Because it started catching up to you. I mean, if you got a family, just imagine people pulling up to your family and start blowing away your house. Because that's what was going to happen. They had enough of him. He would go after people on purpose, who were bad people, and just mess with them. So they were like, fine. We had one guy out here who killed 22 people. It's just one person. He was notorious for shooting people. We had another dude who a whole projects was named after him. It was called Uzi Alley. Why? Because the dude was notorious for killing people with an Uzi. I used to live in those projects when I first got here. He was gone right after I got here, though. Those projects are also gone, too. They tore them down. There's a school on top of those projects, the African American school. Right across the street from that is a brand new VA hospital. So it's different. But nonetheless, yeah. See, back then they had a notorious group of people, drug dealers and hustlers and pimps and hoes. They were all ran by a woman. And the name of the group was called the Short North Posse. It was called Short North because it was right outside of downtown, heading north. So Short North. You're pretty much a mile away from downtown. But there were some pretty tough, projects around. Nah, they weren't projects, but, Pretty tough neighborhood. That whole neighborhood is different now. What happened was the police got tired of the Short North Posse and all the trouble that they caused. And in one day, they raided and got all of them. They arrested 40 people in one day, one fell swoop. The whole police department let out and went after the Short North Posse. 40 people gone. That stopped a lot of craziness that was happening. After that, they got rid of the people who were, doing a lot of begging because OSU is in the Short North pretty much. And that's why they did it, is because OSU. Those people get what they want here in Columbus. So they were like, get rid of the Short North Posse. It's spilling over into, where the students are. So they got rid of them. Made the students feel safer. Then they cleaned up a lot of those buildings. You're not going to find any crackheads. You're not going to find any homeless begging people on the street there anymore because they got all those for tax evasion. Because they kept bothering the students. So the students complained about it. So they were just like, nope, if we see you down here, we're arresting you. For what? Tax evasion. They couldn't get them for loitering because it's a public street. So you don't see nobody begging the students. Nobody. They're all gone. And it was like a syndicate. They had it down pat. They're all gone. All those people. That whole area that they were in, all brand new buildings. As a matter of fact, the Short North is now the new suburbs. So all those, ritzy suburbs, they're still there. But now a lot of those people are coming and moving into the inner city because they're building up all the inner city. Why? Because it's easy to get downtown to do business. There are new buildings going up all the time down here. They got new apartments where they're tearing down. They tore down these huge malls that used to be here. They tore them all down. They're not all apartment buildings now. Brand new apartment buildings cost $2,000 a month just to live there. Got to have particular keys and all this stuff to get in. Like the, hoity-toities live there now. It's just everything just changed. But yeah, but this city is, when I got here, we used to have a Heritage Day parade. And all the black people would come out and celebrate from downtown all the way up to, Fifth Avenue, which is almost, Ohio State. Well, Ohio State starts at 11th Avenue. But that parade would go to Fifth Avenue. Well, you know who else would come out? The Ku Klux Klan. They would get on a float. They'd be pulled, by a truck. And it'd be like 30 officers standing on top of the float, screaming obscenities in Ku Klux Klan full garment in front of everyone. And from downtown to Fifth Avenue, there were no black police officers. They were all white. And what they would do, because you would drive slowly, what they would do is they would walk up to your car and they would look at you like this. And they would try to intimidate you. Pull you over if they wanted to. Get out the car. Bunch of Klan members. You think they went away? No, they're in full stride. They're in full stride. If you hear about the recent deaths that's happened here, the kid that was shot here this year, he's like 20 years old. They served him a warrant. It was, listen, they served him a no-knock warrant at 4 o'clock in the morning for a misdemeanor. Unbelievable. A no knock warrant for a misdemeanor. They went in there. The guy didn't even hear them knocking because they didn't knock. It's a no knock. They busted into to his apartment. They went straight back to the room where he was in, and he had a vape pen in his bed. He was so startled, he jumped up and he had the pen in his hand. Boom, they shot him within 1 second. As soon as they looked at him, bang, shot him dead. And they tried to justify that. That cop went on leave, paid leave. He's still on leave. If you belong to Black Lives Matter and you come down here and march against them, if you're one of the leaders, they're going to kill you. They killed 2 Black Lives Matter leaders. One was 28, the other one was 24. One was a woman, the other one was a dude. I knew the dude. They killed him and they left him on the state lawn so the next morning everybody going to work could see his body. They killed the girl and then they had her floating down the river, which is right downtown. So when she was found face down, floating down the river, and you could pretty much see her. They made sure that you know that if you talk about us and you're trying to, do whatever, you're going to die. They killed both of them. Both of them. Slaughtered them. They are alive and well. Trust me. So this is business as usual. Them sicking the dog on them is business as usual. I mean, listen, it's even deeper than that. Here in Columbus, they had a man who sued the police department for wrongful something. And the judge was like, yeah, I'm gonna award you this money. $2 million. The guy jumped up, yeah, yeah, yeah. A week later, he was dead. Bang! Just like that. Dead. Don't believe me? Look it up. Matter of fact, I'll look it up for you. See if I can find out what his name was. Black ball head dude, man. I don't even know how to word this. But the first story I told you about, the kid that they killed, he was only 20 years old. They shot him in bed. Another dude was shot, and they had to settle $10 million out of court for that guy. I can't find the story, but I want to though, because it's interesting. I mean, it wasn't even a week later, and he was out of here. This might be it right here. City of Columbus pleads to pay $10 million a settlement of the family of Andre Hill. Columbus police has agreed to pay $10 million to the family. 47-year-old man who was shot and killed by Columbus police in December. Oh no, that's a different story. They shot Andre Hill. Police were called on Andre Hill, who was going to visit his friend in a, suburb type of area. And he entered in through the garage. This was at night. So when the police got there, they knew he was in the garage. And the police said, come out. So what Hill did, Hill, 47-year-old, brother, light-skinned brother, he turned his phone on and he walked out and he said, here I am. The police said, drop it, shot and killed him. That's why they got sued for $10 million. He just said, drop it, bang. It's like, what? And it's on video. You can see the police video. He comes out, he has a phone. It's clearly a phone. Guns don't light up. He turned the phone on because it was dark so you could see him. And he came out, you can see his face, you can see his full body. He had no weapon. The police shot him. One shot, bang, to the chest, killed him. That was it. But this one, the one I was talking about, wasn't Andre Hill. Civil suit against officer who killed Donovan Lewis. Yeah, I can't find the story, but so yeah, Nat, that's what I got to say about it. It's business as usual. Columbus, Ohio is notorious for mistreating black people, and all surrounding, areas you can get the business. I even I was stopped by state police, and when I went in to see the judge, they didn't. They have this thing where if you come to see them for the first time, they can, pretty much dismiss a ticket or let it go or whatever. And I know about it because I was listening to him explain it to somebody else. I was listening to this officer explain it. I said, oh, can I get the same thing too? They're like, well, no, pretty much. I was like, why not? Anyway, so, when I went before that judge, he's like, I can take your license. I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, but I'm not going to take your license. Now, was I in the wrong for what I did? Yes. But I didn't make a big whoop out of it. I was speeding. I was doing 109 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. I was trying to see how fast my car can go. And when that guy caught me, it's because truck drivers said, there's a guy out here speeding. Why? Because truck drivers don't want the state on their ass. So sure enough, my foot was on the brake. I was slowing down. Cop still caught me. After the beam, I passed the beam. There was a cop sitting right there. I was like, boom, that's it. I was in the wrong. This is why I didn't say anything to the cop or to the judge when they was like, I could take your license for that. And I showed up in a suit. I showed up in a suit and tie. And it helped. Anytime I go before a judge, I always show up in a suit and tie. I never show up anything less. Never. But I was wrong for what I did. But I knew I was wrong. I knew I was speeding. I knew I was gonna get caught. I paid the ticket, and that was that. I haven't got a ticket since. Hell, I barely get stopped by the police. It's a surprise if I'm stopped by the cops. I'm like, okay, what happened? Because I obey the law. I don't try to beat the system, flout the law. I usually, if you catch me going a couple miles an hour over, it's okay, my bad. I didn't know. Or everybody else was going that fast. But usually, no, I obey the law. I don't, I was just testing my car. I wanted to see. and I'm going to tell you why I did it. I had a Ford Taurus 2000. I had a 2001 Ford Taurus or something like that. I don't even know if they make them anymore. But my Ford Taurus said 90 mile an hour on it, right? So that engine was a 3.2 engine, right? To the floor. 3.2 V6 banger. I'm like, okay, 3.2 V6. Something's wrong here. Because I'm on the highway 7 o'clock in the morning, speeding coming from Pittsburgh. I nail it. I put the pedal to the metal, literally. I hit a straightaway. I hit a flat. I open it up. I get all 6 valves banging, lifters going at it, right? I hear the engine. And I'm like, okay. I see it hit 90. It sank. I'm like, I know I'm doing 100 miles an hour. So I let off the gas and I'm like, wait a minute. I hit the gas again. I know I was doing at least 120, 130, and that's what got me. I was passing trucks up like they were standing still. Flying. Yeah, it felt good. But I wanted to see how fast the damn thing could go because I'm burying the damn needle and it's still accelerating. I'm like, well, we all know that cars have regulators on them. Man, so I hit this. I see this divider coming up. So I figure I'm safe in the divider. But I didn't know how fast I was going. I knew I was way over 90. And then I said, when this divider stops, there's going to be a cop on the other end. I know it. So I'm trying to slow the car down to 70 miles an hour. But I was going so fast, I knew if I jammed on the brakes, it's gonna be my ass. I just knew it. So I tried to ease the car to slow down. But once you opened up that 3.2, it didn't want to slow down. About the time the cop see me, he see me doing 100, like I said, 109 or something like that. He's like, can you tell me why you were doing 110? I was like, I'm sleepy. I'm just coming from Pittsburgh. I was just trying to get home, getting back. But 110 miles an hour? I said, yeah, I'm sorry. He's like, here's your ticket. Show up at court. So, yeah, it felt good. I don't know what happened to that car. I've had so many cars. I have no idea what happened to them. Hell, I had a Chevy Nova that had a V8 in it. I wish I still had that damn Nova. I have no idea what happened to these cars. I had a big ass Chevy Impala. I don't know what happened to that Impala. I think they all end up in the I think that they get towed or something and I can't afford to get them out. Man, I wish I still had that Nova. That Chevy Nova had a V8 in it and it had electric windows. I don't even know how I got that car. I can't remember. I was so young. I was 24 years old, 25. As long as I've had a car, is probably the one I got now. The one that old dude keeps, running into. I've had that car for probably 5, 6 years now. I was outside running it today. It's the one that got my trailer on it for my fridges. It has a leak somewhere. Can't figure out what it is. But the engine is still damn good. I've had to change the fuel filter. Excuse me. I've had to change the fuel filter and the fuel pump. And I think I got to change the fuel pump again. The pump keeps going out on this one. And I don't want to do it myself. But what I might do is cut a hole into it. So for those of you who've never changed the fuel pump before on a Chevy Tahoe, there's two ways you can do it. One way is to jack up the side of it, either side, driver's side or passenger. Climb up under it, take a drill, an impact drill, impact wrench, and loosen up the bands that's holding the gas tank in. You got to drop the plate that's guarding it first. Then you got to drop the bands. But when you drop the bands, you got to, make sure that the truck isn't full of gas, because it's a 15-gallon tank. And if you're not careful, it's going to fall right on your face. And it's heavy. So you usually need two people. But if you don't, you could use a standing jack and lower it down on the jack. But mind you, you're up under it like this. So you loose the bands. There's 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bzz, 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 bzz. But you got to do it carefully. And you have to have a jack or some kind of stand. So when you loosen up that last bolt, you're holding it. And bzz, you got to have something to brace it so it can, lean down. But you don't have to take this band down. You just have to loosen it up. So boom, this is going to fall this way. And when it does, the pump is going to be inside of the fuel tank. So the pump's going to lower down too, and you're going to see it right there inside of the fuel tank. So you take yourself a putty knife, you go around the gasket, you lift it up, you loosen up the hoses. It's going to be 1, 2, I think it's going to be 2 hoses. So you take those 2 hoses out, boom, you take your new pump, you lower it in, you put your whatever around the seal, you put it in, you attach your 2 hoses, boom, and now you have to jack the damn thing up, especially if it's full of gas. So you don't want to do it when it's full of gas. You want to do it as empty as possible. And hey, what's going on? So then you have to lift it up, and this is when you need 2 people. You have to pick up the tank, and then you have to tighten those bolts, and you're not going to do it with one hand. It usually takes 2 people to do it. So anyways, you're going to lift it up and tighten up the bolts. Then you're going to put your plate back on that protects it. Good. 4 bolts is going to be there. Boom, you just changed your fuel pump. Start it right up. It's going to take it a minute for it to adjust. But yeah. And if you ever have to do it, get it from Napa. It's going to cost you about $200. That's just for the fuel pump. Cost you about $200. Let me see. Mine's a 2001 Chevy Tahoe. Yeah. Pricing. Well, if you get it from Napa, it's $200. I say get it from Napa. There's a fuel pump right here, because you can get the LT, yeah, and then it's got to be specific. Mine is a 2-wheel drive with traction control, even though my traction control doesn't work. All-wheel drive, yeah, mine's a 2-wheel drive with traction control. Fuel pump, yeah. And here goes one right here. Here goes one for $130, but oof, Geez, the Delphi is 279. US Works fuel pump. I got one for $100. The AC Delco is 315. Sheesh. Sheesh. Can't be right. Okay, Chevy Tahoe, 8 cylinder, yeah, eight, 5.3. It's be specific. So there's a 5.3 engine. If it was a 1999 or 97, excuse me, if it was a 97 or below, it's a 5.7. So, but I have a 5.3. The 5.7s are better, but they're all 5.3. Or there's the 4.8, but mine is 5.3. I love the 5.3s. And it's 131 for a true grade. But but that's at advanced auto. But I'm not gonna look at advanced auto. I'm gonna look at Napa. I don't really like advanced auto for something like that. I'm just on a tangent now, so I'm just kind of trying to see. Yeah, don't, because I might need one. Because my car keeps cutting off on me. That's kind of dangerous, and I know it's the fuel pump. This will be the third time I've changed it. Oh, come on, man. Where's my fuel? There it is. Fuel pump. Yeah, in tank electric, 20-gallon. That's not my fuel pump, bro. Chevy Tahoe. Guys are asking me questions. Hold on a second. Can't see a question. Chevy Tahoe, 2001 fuel pump. All right. I don't think they have. They gotta have it. Fuel pump assembly. Oh, this is the whole assembly. All right. Yep. Yep. There it is. 255, 260. So yeah. I'm a little disappointed that Gristle didn't salute me. That's because he's working out. I'm disappointed in Brother Tone. Uh-oh. What happened? What did Brother Tone do? What's up with the title of the stream, my man? What does the title read? You guys, I'm sleepy. I actually worked today. Yesterday too. I knew it. I knew the only reaction. Yes, Natalie. I do this every now and then. Black man mauled by police. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That did happen. Yeah. Did I spell something wrong? If I did, oh well. Yeah, but he was mauled by a police dog. Yeah, I worked. I did a promotion today. Did a promotion yesterday too. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, and it was in Newark. So it was about 45 minutes one way from here. Some people I worked with last year, very easy, working with kids and outside of museums and saying, hey, learn to, whatever. What do you want to be when you grow up? So it's pretty cool, but my feet hurt. I could work tomorrow too, but it's a 12-hour shift on your feet, and my feet are killing me. So I'm just not built for this type of stuff anymore. I mean, my feet, it hurt. I was like, oh my God. It was a 5-hour shift. So 5 hours on your feet. Woo. Yeah, I'm not built like that anymore. I have to get up at 8 in the morning for work. Yeah, well, I was up at 3 because I just couldn't go to sleep. I fall asleep and I'm sitting there thinking, you know, about, I don't know, world events or whatever. And I couldn't go to sleep. And I would usually start watching YouTube shorts, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because I know I have to be up at 8 or 7 something, hit the shower and get out of here. So I don't want my mind to get going. I want to try to fall asleep at least by 4 or 5. I was up all damn morning and then had to get up and go to work. So, that's why I'm a little sleepy. Uh, but I'm not working tomorrow. I just got paperwork to fill out. And I made some money. So, I was just sitting here thinking I need to make about, I need to make a couple $100 and boom, I got a text. It said, hey, Anthony, can you go do this? I was like, absolutely, I can. Just what I needed. Just what I needed. So that'll put me up about, I don't know how much that'll put me up now that I'm thinking about it. let me actually calculate. Not that you guys need to know, but I actually need to know. A couple $100 minus my taxes. I already spent some of it on gas and food, but nah, you know what, Nat? Pennies ain't paying them bills, but pennies is my it is my, because I make more money doing pennies than I make on YouTube. So pennies is my, let's see, how many streams of income do I have? I'm trying to get like 20 streams of income that would bring me in. I'm trying to get about 20 that'll bring me in uh at least $40 a week each of them. As I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get there. I mean, it's tough. A lot of times I think about what could I do on YouTube that's more attractive? Because these long ass videos don't make me any money. For the house, yeah, yeah. So I can move and be comfortable wherever I go. I want to get back up to a certain amount of money, but I want to exceed that. I want to exceed that amount of money that I'm trying to get to. And so now I'm, my legs can't do what they used to do. So I just got to think, what else can I do, you know, instead of standing there and being in pain all day? I know it's I go out in the parking lot looking for pennies. Um, so here's the thing. When you get around promo people, they all tell you what they're doing. Yeah, yeah. And one woman told me, she said, listen, she said, Yeah, I just did a gig. That's what this shirt is from. But she said, yeah, these people called me and they wanted me to be a placeholder. Which is pretty much for parking space. So they said, listen, we just need you to go park out this space and stay there until we show up. She said they paid me $250. She said, and then they just called me again. So I'm getting ready to go do it again. I was like, for what? Yeah, be a placeholder. So, like, I love gigs like that. One guy said, he said, I just got paid $50 just to go eat a sandwich. They just wanted to do a survey. So I like little stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, if I can get about 20 different little to bring me in about 20-30 bucks. You understand? That's good money. And I need it to be automated. So now I'm looking at all of the ways people are just making money, automated. And yeah, that's good money. That's good money instead of leaving the house, because I'm thinking about moving further out into places that's not so busy. And in order to do that, I need to have a lot of business online going on. I need to have a lot of online stuff. Yeah, old DoorDash. Get them tips going on. Nah, I'm not giving up on online jobs. Well, that's good. I don't mind the DoorDash. I was actually looking at there's a guy who shows up here because dude across the street is he's 70 years old and he gets a lot of little different stuff for disability. And so there's a driver that shows up with his food. And I was talking to him. I was like, is that your van? He was like, nah, it's the company van. Now this dude is like 60 years old. He's like, nah, man, it's the company van. I was like, okay, I see you. He said, yeah, man, I just drive for him. I'm like, I see you though, getting your hustle on. I'm like, I know you're older than me, but he out there hustling. So I'm like, yeah, bro. There's a lot of hustle out there. It all depends on, what's going on. But when you're somebody who's kind of reclusive like myself, you kind of, you know what I mean? Your options, your options kind of go like this if you don't have a real like on YouTube, I don't have a real nichey thing. It used to be talking about sports, but I don't, basketball and football, but I don't really care about them anymore. Uh, I could talk about track and field all day, but who wants to hear about that? You guys don't listen to me because I'm talking about sports. You guys listen to me because you want my opinion. I'm older than every single one of you. So you want my opinion on something that's going on. But I make about 6 cents from this video. That's it. I make about 6 cents from it. I don't make money from these. So now I could, you know, download, 1 minute sections and didn't just put it up as a YouTube short, but my YouTube shorts I started to put up because of the music. So I wanted to so the music that I put up is all published already. So I published it through CD Baby. So whenever you see a video and it has music behind it, it's all my music. Why? Because I want SoundScan to pick it up so I can make a couple cents off of it, which I do. I make about in a week, I'll do about maybe a quarter, a little less than a quarter. off of CD Baby. It's a slow grind, but it's constant. See what I mean? I'll wake up and oh, I got 10 cents. Oh, 5 cents. So what that's what I'm doing on YouTube, but my music is in a music library. So people on TikTok, Facebook, these people are using my music now. So I'm seeing more hits come in through CD Baby of 2 cent here, 4 cent here, 20 cent here. And I'm like, well, where's this coming from? Facebook or, Amazon Music and, you know, uh, Title, and they all have my music. So it's playing the long game. It's like, okay, I see what they're doing, and once I make so much money on it, which is very little, but once I make enough money, then I go ahead and put something else out, and which helps me make money faster. Then you keep doing it, and eventually, you know, that's pretty much the game. If you're not popular, you're just one of these people who just like to make music, but you want to get money from it, you got to invest about 150 bucks. And once you put your stuff out there, if it's just average music like mine, you're going to make 2 or 3 cents a day off of it. You're not going to make your full $150 back. But if you really don't care, you just let it go, and then your threshold where you get your money back is like at $10, or it could be at $100. Mine's at $10. So every time $10 hits, I see $10 go into my bank account. So, I count that. I'm like, okay, that's happened, what, 10 times? Now I have $100. Let me go ahead and put another, 20 songs out. You boom, you make them, send them to CD Baby. You pay for it, costs about 130 bucks. Boom. Now you have 20 more songs that are out there, and they don't have to be songs, it's just beats. And then people are listening to it, they go, that's a nice beat. I like that. And let me do a video to that. And then boom, boom, and then boom. Same thing happens over and over and over. Next thing you know, you go from making 2 cents a day to 20 cents a day. And it doesn't sound like a lot until you're like, well, wait a minute, 20 times 5, and then boom, boom, you know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, I'm doing a smooth dollar. Yeah, I'm doing $1. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing $1 a week. And it's like, all right, when you start calculating it, you're like, okay, well, in a month's time, it's $4 in a month. Still doesn't sound like much, but your threshold, what you're trying to do, you're trying to get your threshold at $10. So you're trying to reach your threshold. So you're going to reach your threshold, less than 2 months. Boom. Now you got another $10. And once a year goes by, boom, you got, $100 or more. You do the same thing, put another 30 songs out, on CD Baby. Boom, the same thing happens. Now instead of 20 cents a day, now you're doing 40 cents a day. You know the deal. Same thing, same thing. And um, Alicia Keys' husband says he got 700. I think he said he has 700 songs working for him. Working for him. That's what he said. I got 700 songs working for me. Bringing in money. That's the whole idea. You get yourself a good 700-800 songs or beats. Yeah. Because he said he looked at a house. He already has a nice house. But he looked at a house, really nice. He's like, I'm going to buy that house. And they were just like, Swiss, how you going to buy that house? He said, I got 700 songs working for me. And the person who asked him that question, shut up. Because they know 700 songs working for him, plus the artist, plus him showing up. Don't forget he's still a DJ. And all the other stuff he does, not to mention he's married to Alicia Keys. She does concerts where she really makes her money. I mean, it's lights out. It's just lights completely out. Now he lives in that house. You know what I mean? And of course, he's making more songs. So that's really what it is. But you have to invest in it. But once you get a decent catalog, even him saying if it's just beats, it's not songs. But once you get 1,000, seven, 800,000 songs that's in the mix somewhere, and this is worldwide. Title and all that, these are worldwide. The people who like my songs the most they don't even speak my language. When I go and look up on TikTok who's listened to my songs, they're speaking it. They're like Middle Eastern. Hold on, let me pull up one of them because I was bugging out. I was like, "What nationality are you people?" Um, let's see if it picks up. All right, so here it is. This is TikTok. This is my song right here. I made this 2009. Boom, right? There are 24 videos that are using this song. Not one of these people speaking English. Not one. I don't understand not a word they're saying. They look like they're Arabs or, you know, from one of them Stan countries, Uzbekistan or something like that. But listen, this one lady used it. That's all she did is talked over it. But I think she's reviewing perfume or something like that. She's got 22 hearts and she's got one share. I don't even know how many views she has, but she has one view. She's got 3 comments, but she has a share, which means whoever she shared this with, they're using my music. You see how it goes? Whoever she shared this with, boom, they're doing the same thing. They're using my music. Not my music. That's not my music. But you know what they did? They used my music at the end of the video. Or somewhere here they use my video, my music, because it says right there, slow by tone. 58 hearts, no shares, 3 comments. I have no idea what happened there. This guy's just holding up a picture. 55 hearts. He's just holding up a picture. I don't even know how many views he has. That's one thing. It's not telling me how many views are here. Boom. That's how it goes. You guys can't hear? You can't hear this? What? You guys can't hear this? Oh man, I'm sitting up here trying to. You know what? Here's what I can do. Why can't you guys? So you guys can't hear this music? You can't hear this music right now. What? I'm over here talking and jamming. Hold on a second. Let me pull up SoundCloud. Huh. Pull up my SoundCloud real quick. See if you guys can hear the. Can you hear this music now? Got you. Okay, so you can't hear that. All right. Well, thanks, Nat. I didn't know that. All right. Let me see something. Can you hear this music? Okay, so you can hear that. I don't know why you can't hear stuff that's being played on the. Okay, so this is being played on my computer. The other stuff is being played off the internet. So it's. Huh. I really don't know what to do about that. Hold on a second. See if I can fix this. Outgoing. Built in. Okay. HTML. All right, let me do that. All right, let's try this. Let's try this again, Matt. Can you hear this? You cannot hear this. Why would you ask him is he dressed? What kind of question is that? Natalie, quit being weird. Why would he not be dressed? All right, I don't know why. Why would you not hear that? That came through my internal speakers. Can't hear this. I would say the microphone would pick this up. Why can you not hear this? Oh, depressed. Oh, I told you I'm tired. My bad, Nat. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why you guys can't hear the stuff I'm playing on the internet, but you can hear the stuff I'm playing from my radio. This is weird to me, but anyway, so I'll play slow. But let's see if I can look it up. No, this now it's giving me all kind of crap. Huh. Shoot. It's a really cool beat too. But I made it with my iPad. I was just messing around, said, "Oh, I'm just gonna do this." And then I copywrote it and just put it out there to see who, turns out that Middle Easterns like the song. And now my Put It in the Pot song is starting to pick up. And I have probably a couple thousand songs. All right, I can't find it. But yeah, so if you guys are just out there making beats, you're just out there making beats, man. Go for it. Publish them. Probably doesn't even cost, much as I'm paying for them. Some bum 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 boom boom. Slow cooker. Oh. Oh, this is retarded. If you guys are writing anything down, write that stuff down, man. Copyright it. Somebody's going to pick it up. There are people running around dressed like animals. Just like rabbits and cats and dogs. They call themselves furries. All I'm saying is you feel attacked. Oh, whatever. You and I have a decorum. We have a monicum of understanding. You say some stuff that's crazy sometime, and I react. Oh my God, I don't know where my song is. And Natalie, I think you would like it. You would like it. Be like, I like that song. Be like, I know that. I don't know where it's at. I don't know what it. That guy, there's a dude who made that song and sent it to me. I don't know where Sloan is at. This is not it, but this is another song I made a long time ago. It's not on here. It's not on here. I feel attacked. I wouldn't attack you. You're too strong. You been working out too? Oh, hell no. I ain't got no static for you. You ain't beating my ass. You ain't whooping my black ass and talking about me. Oh no. I can't find it, man. I'm looking right now in my music library. Mm. Okay, my library. Okay, let me try it. Apple Music. It's not in here. iTunes stores, Apple Music. It's not. I don't have it. I don't have Slow in my library. I don't know why. You don't fight men. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, that song's pretty chill, ain't it? Yeah, I don't know where it's at. Yeah, people like this weird stuff. I cannot believe you guys can't hear mine. I'm Let me try something. Dum 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 dum. Can you hear this? I didn't want to kill it. I just wanted it to go away. You can't hear this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can't hear that. Huh. Let me see what's going on. Why are you not able to hear this? Natalie. I don't know, Nat. You did something to it. You did something to my computer, Nat. I don't know what you did. You Natalie it. You Natalie it up. You put the Natalie on it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's not. It's weird to me though. Import, manage, default, downloads. No, Nope, it's all Natalie'd up. It's Natalie'd. Yeah, but let me tell you something about being tired. This tired. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you're this tired and you're just coasting, you're just coasting. When you're coasting like this, you guys couldn't hear that. You're enjoying your life. I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying my life. I got some orange juice. I don't have any. I ran out. I ran out. Natalie. Natalie. Natalie going to the store. Yeah. Natalie went down to the store. Ooh. Now went down to buy some chicken livers. Yeah, yeah. Natalie's going to buy some chicken livers. Natalie, what you eat for dinner? Okay, I know this is playing, but I can't hear it. Natalie's eating chicken liver. Okay. Okay. You can't hear that either, huh? All right. Can you hear this? You can hear this? All right. So you can hear that. I was the radio. I hardly even play this radio, but my speakers. So this isn't hooked up to that. Huh. It's an old radio too. It's got cassette tapes, but I'm not. My speakers aren't hooked to it. Yeah, I got two cassettes in it. I'm old school, Nat. Let's see. Yeah, see that I have music on right now. It's not coming through there. And you can hear this though. You can hear this though. Yeah. You hear the ancestors in this one. Long time ago on YouTube. I was doing a live and I made this. Ain't it tight? It's tight, ain't it? Let's do this again. Tell 'em